Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I apologize for the delay, slight technical difficulties. This is Liz, actually broadcasting live from the Derry Public Library. You might recognize this background as the New Hampshire room. And since it's Monday, we're going to be talking about Director Day. So today we are talking about one of my absolute favorite directors working today and a huge groundbreaker for the Oscars, Bong Joon-ho. I actually have a little pin of him right here that my friend made. That is how much of a fan I am. So you probably know who Bong Joon-ho is if you pay attention to the Oscars or just saw his film Parasite become kind of a worldwide phenomenon. And last year, well, technically this year, he became not only his film was not only the first South Korean movie to win Best Foreign Language Feature, he became the first South Korean director to win Best Director, which is really kind of weird to me because South Korea's got some great directors working. And his film, Parasite, also became the first foreign language film to win Best Picture in the entire 90-year history of the Oscars. So congrats, Bong Joon-ho. So the reason I'm doing this is not only because I respect his work a lot, but I think after he won, there was a lot of question of, oh, wow, who is this guy? Maybe we should look into his movies. Or people saw Parasite and like, what else has he done? So we're going to go down the work of what he's done today. So obviously Bong Joon-ho. Bong is his last name. Joon-ho is his first. Koreans usually put their family name before their first name. So he was born in 1969 in Daegu, South Korea, or Daegu. Hope I'm saying that right. His father was a graphic designer and an art professor, so that had an effect on him. His father was very artistic. He drew a lot. And he also really loved film when he was younger. He saw the film Black Orpheus when he was young, and that really inspired him. He said he knew he wanted to be a filmmaker for the time he was 14 years old. And when he was really starting to kind of make his own movies, he became a big fan of Mexican director Guillermo del Toro, who is also one of my favorite directors. So what he did was he completed a 2-year program at the Korean Academy of Film Arts. He made 16 millimeter films, submitted them to little local festivals. He really kind of built his way up. And his first feature was in the early aughts, and that was called Barking Dogs Never Bite. Didn't have a lot of commercial success, but got good reviews. His next movie, though, 2003's Memories of Murder, brought him both box office success and critical acclaim, and he won. It actually ended up winning Best Picture, Actor, and Director at the Grand Bell Awards, which is a Korean film award. The next movie is 2007's The Host, and this is the movie that broke him on the international stage. So he become kind of a minor big director in South Korea beforehand with Memories of Murder. Which, by the way, if you like sort of true crime stories, you would like Memories of Murder. The Host is a political thriller that in a family movie disguised as a monster movie. So toxic waste is dumped, a big sea monster is formed, they kidnap the daughter of kind of down on their luck family. It is a great film. It's a lot of fun. I was sold on it. Oh, lights went out. So sorry. Based on the, it's on par with Jaws. Okay, I guess I'm here in the dark. This has all been trial and error for us today. And it's really good. And this is the first time we start to see one of his big themes in his films, which is class, even if it's not the overarching theme. So his follow-up to that was a film called Mother in 2009. It is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, that is on Hulu. And that is about a poor single mother trying to prove that her developmentally disabled son, who is an adult, didn't murder someone. And it is both a murder mystery and an indictment of the system that this woman and her son live in. And next is probably the movie that, other than The Host and Parasite, most people know him for, Snowpiercer. So this was his first multinational feature. It stars Chris Evans, Tilda Swinton, and one of his frequent collaborators, Song Kang-ho, also one of the best working actors in the world today. So you probably, if you know about Snowpiercer, it is about the world. The world is frozen over because in order to solve global warming, humans decided to fast track a solution that actually made things worse rather than, changing our habits. And it's run by this, you get the idea, this inventor slash venture capitalist who the upper cars of the train worship as a god. And then there's the back end passenger. So, of course, it's class warfare on a train, but there's also a good indictment of human nature, of the cyclical nature of power struggles. And with the Wilford, the creator of the train, a very good indictment of our society's tendency to almost deify these inventors who, while they may be good at business, they may not have humanity's best interests in mind all the time. It's a great film with a lot of action. If you want to see Chris Evans in something other than Captain America, great role for him. Good roles, great Tilda Swinton performance. Also, great John Hurt performance and Ed Harris. I don't want to give too much away, but I absolutely love Snowpiercer, and I love recommending it to people. So his follow-up to that was a Netflix distributed film, which is Okja, which, kind of continuing on his sci-fi satirical streak, is about the a eco-friendly company, which turns out to be not so eco-friendly. I would say out of all of his movies, the ones I've seen, that's probably the one I'd put at the bottom. There is no such thing as a bad Bong Joon-ho movie, but it is the one I've revisited the least. And then 2009, he just kicked down the door with Parasite and said, hey, everybody, I have a very relevant class satire right here. And it ended up winning every award you can think of. It won Cannes, it won a bunch of global awards, and it won the Oscars, which kind of funny because Bong Joon-ho said he just considered that. He's like, oh, other people in the world consider the Oscars to be a local film award. So, some perspective. Why is he an important director? Well, I think for him, or why he is so great, is he is able to blend message, technique, and a general sense of humanity. I wouldn't say he's the first South Korean director to get any acclaim in the United States. I mean, Park Chan-wook, Lee Dang-chong, they've had acclaim here. Movies like Old Boy and Burning have had some traction, The Handmaiden. But of course, the first South Korean director to get this kind of acclaim, to win an Oscar. And actually, I believe, I did some checking, I think Parasite might be the first South Korean movie, at the very least in a while, that's even been nominated for Best Foreign Language Feature. So how's that for, making history? But what really gets me about Bong Joon-ho is his ability to understand why people go to the movies. He understands that we want to be entertained, but he also understands that people want to connect, and that movies don't have to just be entertainment machines. They can be multifaceted. So you have The Host, which is a monster movie, but it's also a movie about the lower class people who live in South Korea. You have Snowpiercer, which is, I would say, an action movie at its core, but it is also about inequality and the way that people can be very corrupted by the prospect of money and wealth. And you have Parasite, which is a movie that he made to specifically be about South Korea. He did not intend for this to be a global movie. But he said in an interview, he was like, well, I keep hearing from people all over the globe about how much they relate to this movie, how much they love it. And he goes, it's because we all live in the same country called capitalism. He said it, not me. And obviously class and whatnot on his mind. But I think that's something that he has, that, he obviously has technique, but he has a sense of humanity that you don't see in a lot of directors. And even some directors that started out very good sometimes kind of just fall into technique. I think Ridley Scott is a good example of someone who technique and idea overshadow actually connecting with the film. So Bong Joon-ho understands that unless you can really connect to a movie, unless there's a story, unless there's a character, unless there is humanity, we are not going to want to really go back and revisit it. We're not going to talk about it. It's going to be something we see once and then never think about again. And I think the fact that he does have overall a fairly short career, he has been working for a long time, but the amount of films he's made, not that many compared to some other directors. but he makes sure every movie is something that you will remember, something you will discuss, or it has something for you to think about. And I think, I mean, in art, there's always room for cerebral filmmaking and storytelling. And I think the fact that he can make a movie that almost everyone on the globe can see and go, I kind of relate to that, or I can see something in that, or I relate to that family or that person. I think that is a talent that goes beyond technique. And I think that is just an empathy that you're born with. Um, but all I know is pretty much I am lying in wait for Bong Joon-ho's next new movie. Heck, the only reason I saw Parasite was I'm like, oh, it's a new Bong Joon-ho picture. Well, I guess I'm going. Shut up and take my money. So I would say where to start with Bong Joon-ho? Well, I think it depends on what you're into. If you like monster movies, watch The Host. If you like crime, watch Memories of Murder. If you like human drama, watch Mother. If you want some action, watch Snowpiercer. I think almost any movie of his is a good gateway into his filmmaking and into his style. But the easiest ones to access right now, Snowpiercer's on Netflix, Okja is on Netflix, and Mother, Parasite, and Barking Dogs Never Bite are all on Hulu. And I'm just hoping Memories of Murder starts streaming somewhere because, again, great movie. So thank you for watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and we will see you tomorrow with What's on Netflix.